Welcome to the Driver's Video Blog. My name is Larry Endo, and in this blog we'll talk about regulations, organizations, federal organizations, and agencies that affect us, and basic things about driving, being a truck driver, and so forth, the things we have to live with. I'm hoping to get a lot of feedback and things that we need to look into. If there's something that you'd want me really to search into, just put a message down there and say, hey, Larry, I'm really interested in this. Is there anything we can find out about this? But anyhow, this is our first video. And I just wanted to let you know I've been a driver for 30 years. Almost 30 years. I'm now working in the oil fields here in West Texas. It's pretty awesome. I've been over the road for 23 years, something like that. I've been a driver trainer. I've been a driver trainer for 20 years. I used to have all my hair before that started. Trainers, you know about that. Today, we're going to start our discussion with some acronyms that we all know about, but we'll find out a little bit more about them. Things like the DOT, the FMCSA, the ELD, EM, CVSA, CSAs, all those things. We'll talk about those in the future in upcoming videos. Today I want to talk about just some most basic things, and we'll go from there. The DOT, Department of Transportation. Everybody knows what the DOT is. Did you know that the DOT started back in 1966? That's when it was established by Congress. Its first day was actually April 1st. April 1st. Is that fitting? I don't know. April 1st of 1966. April 1st. We all know that is another day also, I think. But it's fitting for a government agency to start on April 1st. So that's when the DOT was established. Now, a few years have gone by, and we come up to someone walking by the truck. We come up to 2000, and President Bill Clinton signs off on a brand new administration within the DOT called the FMCSA. Freaky monsters causing serious anxiety. No. Now that's really obviously not what it is, although that's what it is. The FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Obviously DC centered, they have 1,000 employees. They started with a budget of $269 million. And it went in 2014, it went up to 572. 2019, 665. Wonder how long it's going to take before they want $1 trillion to run this thing. Anyway, their phone number is 800-832-5660 if you ever need to call them. If you have questions about the ELD mandate or hours of service in general or anything related to the trucking industry, the regulations, you can call them. I have. They're actually pretty friendly people. They don't bite, or they haven't bitten. So anyway, give them a call. FMCSA. Now, something's kind of interesting that came out here a little while ago. The ELD mandate for over-the-road drivers has been in effect for over a year now. And the death rate for occupants of large trucks is at the highest that it's been at in 30 years. There's actually a petition that was started. If you send it to the president, if it has 100,000 signatures, the president will look at it, asking for the ELD mandate to be put on hold until there can be a study to see why all of a sudden more drivers are being killed than ever before. Well, no, not true. In 30 years, okay, not ever before. More drivers or occupants of large trucks are dying now than in 30 years. So it seems like the ELD mandate isn't helping us any. The ELD mandate, if you look on the FMCSA site and they talk about it, shows that there's been an improvement in enforcement. There's been a decrease in violation. But tell me something. Can you still push the wrong button on the ELD? Are there any drivers that ever say that they're driving for personal use when they're not? Drivers wouldn't do that, would they? So still the ELD can be manipulated and used. And now you can officially use it to say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and so I don't see how much good it's going to do. That's just me. We'll talk much more in depth about the ELD, much more in depth. So if you have any questions, like I said, anything else you want to know about, leave a comment and we will look into it. I'm pretty much into this ELD thing because I'm seriously trying to promote the idea of not getting one for our company. We're a local company. We can live within the ELD mandate regulations, within the requirements that they have. And a lot of companies have. When I called the FMCSA, which I did, I was told that they were surprised so many companies that didn't need to have the ELD did have it, right? They didn't need it, but they're doing it anyway. They want to be compliant. Their insurance companies are pushing them to do it. Their safety people, of course, are pushing them for it because it's a compliance issue. But if it's such a safety issue, why are more occupants of big vehicles dying than ever? I wish I would have put this out before the end of that petition. I mean, the last time I checked it, it had like 25,000 signatures. It needed 100,000. Maybe they can start it over again. I don't know. Would you sign it? Would you be willing to sign it? I did. Do you think that maybe people are driving a little quicker because of that? Anyway, enough of that. We'll get into that later on the ELD mandate. So, let me remind you. Let's see if we can find it here. This is horrible. We're going to work on this. There it is. That's the phone number. You want to call the FMCSA. Give them a holler if you got a question. They will answer your questions. They are real people. And they are our employees. Remember, we're paying the taxes and they work for our government. So call that number, see what they want. If there's, I was talking about the budget, okay? That's what's been going on over the years. We're going to work on this a lot, folks. Don't worry. The one thing I was going to say is these numbers for the budgets, that came from the federal government, from their own numbers. So if you have a question about where those numbers came from, it came from them. I don't know, have you all had a chance really to deal with the FMCSA? Have you ever talked to them? Have you ever even thought about the FMCSA, what it is, what they do, where they are, what they cost? I don't know, maybe not. But now you know, right? You know they started by Bill Clinton in the year 2000. They started at $269 million and have grown to $665. And I don't imagine that number is going to be decreasing anytime soon, do you? How often do government programs decrease in cost? Not that many. So, like I said, anything else you really want to talk about in your in future blogs that we're going to look at, we'll be glad to do that. I think the next time we're going to talk a little bit about the CVSA and the CSA. Those are important things. The CSA can affect your future. the CSA can affect your company's future as well, because obviously some shippers are looking for companies that have higher safety scores. Then again, you got shippers looking for cheap companies. They always have that. So hit me up on the bottom. Tell me what you want to look into. I appreciate you hanging in there to this point. If you have, we'll talk soon. Be safe, drivers. Goodbye.